What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Hold on one second. Sorry I'm late, guys. Sorry I'm late. 1 second. Just making sure everything is live here. Hold on. I'm just trying to check on my phone. Do. 1 second, guys. All right, there we go. It's going. I can hear myself singing. All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. Heck yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. This is amazing on our regular Friday live stream. Let me know if the connection's okay. I'm already looking on my phone. It looks a little grainy, but that's because I'm on this hotel Wi-Fi and it's not the best. So I'm not at my normal home. And it is what it is. We're going to have to make do while I'm on the road, but this should be okay. This should be all right. But keep me posted in those comments. By the way, guys, guess what? I was on Tom Sayers live today. We were just not like on it, but, just in the chat. And I was just chatting to him leading up to our interview. Very cool. Okay. Light Angel says, hello, Truth Seeker. Hi to everyone. Hey, thanks, PT. You're welcome, Eddie. Children of Light say, oh, hey, Mahela is back. Hi, Huzefa and everybody here. I am Mahela. I changed my handling name to be like my YouTube channel. Yeah, I see that. But I recognize the photo. Paul Walls-Writer. Hi, all. Hello, friends. Hey, everyone. What's up? Hold on. I want to see something real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay. The whole membership situation in terms of doing live chats or basically Zoom chats, it's under review right now. So I'm working on that, everybody. That should be out. I know Mahela was interested in that. That should be out shortly. It said it should be less than 24 hours. I thought it'd be done by today, but it is not done yet. Hi, everyone from Scotland. What's up, June Owens? One of my favorite movies of all time is actually Trainspotting. Take your best orgasm, multiply it by 1,000, and you're still nowhere near it. Something like that. Oh, you were on Tony's live as well. That's cool. Did you see me in there or no? I had commented a couple of times. I don't know. I was in the middle of getting ready, so I couldn't stay on and be like actively commenting and chatting the whole time, but I was in there. All right. So first order of business, guys, that I wanted to talk to you all about. I stayed up last night. Let me show you this. I stayed up last night until 3:30 in the morning. I was so tired, but I'm so serious about this channel and wanting to be really consistent on it. And I've been trying to get that Tibetan Book of the Dead video done. I hadn't made a video for yesterday yet. I was yesterday I had traveled to Montana. I was very tired. Well, I stayed up until, like I said, 3:30 in the morning working on this video, and I released it. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. 1 second. I'm pulling it up. I'm really happy with it, but I was just curious if anybody watched it. And, oh, did you say hi to me, Mahela? I didn't even see that. But I'm just curious to know what you guys think of that video. Hold on. I see Cam the King in the house. Hey, PT, I've been watching your content for a good while and watching all of your. Oh, yeah. First time. So this is your first time. Hey, you think I'm on the right path? I think I'm on the right path too. I really do. Thank you for that, though. Cam the King, welcome. All right, so yeah, I'm hoping more and more people come to the live streams because I actually have been getting a lot of great ideas and suggestions. Actually, it was the live stream was how I even met Tony Sayers. He came in here, and then I was just saying earlier prior to that I wanted to start interviewing people, and then Tony Sayers came in. I asked him if he wanted to be on the show. He said, yeah, so cool. Yeah, I think these lives are going to be very, very important. Okay, now let me show you guys the video that I made last night. It's this. So I made my final video on the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I'm going to give myself a like. I made a book on the Tibetan Book of the Dead. It's my final one. And this one is really good because it a really good section because this goes through the latter part of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the last third. And this is where it talks about all that wild stuff about seeing the lights, which lights to avoid, which lights to follow, which ones lead you back into cyclic existence, and which ones take you out into basically, like, you could call it enlightenment or the Buddha body, which you could take to mean, I guess you could interpret it multiple ways, but it's effectively being freed from the reincarnation cycle. It's very interesting. So let me know if you guys checked it out. I'd love to know your thoughts and feedback, but I worked really hard on it. And I did something which was really cool, which I did it in one other video too, but I kind of used ChatGPT to help me decode a lot of the sections of the text, which I thought was super helpful. But yeah, if you guys have feedback, that'd be great. Viv B said, hello, I'm sore from working in the garden, but I'm here. Let's go. Well, hopefully you can just sit down and rest. I'm so tired right now. I had to teach right before this. And then before that, so right now I'm in Montana because I'm here for an MMA show that I am a part of. It's this show called Fusion Fight League. And I'm here as one of the commentators. I told you guys I love mixed martial arts. And so I got in yesterday. Then I had to work all night, or work very late into the night. Then I got up today. I taught for an hour. Then I worked out pretty hard. Then I came back, got ready for my MMA show, did that. Then I went down to weigh-ins for the MMA production, and then came up, taught again for an hour, and then now I'm doing this. It's just been like back to back. And I only got 5 hours of sleep last night. So I'm struggling. But I'm here too, and I feel good that everybody is here, and so I'm glad I'm doing this. Yes, I saw and said hi to you. Thank you, Michaela. Viv says, June Owens, I was born in Scotland, but now in USA, but my family's in Glasgow and Aberdeen. Cool. Yeah, I saw it. Thank you. That's awesome, Paul. Finally made it to a live Crowned with Glory Reborn. I saw you in the, I responded to some of your comments today. Did you see my responses? Another fave channel of mine is also live. Picked your, hey, let's go. You picked my channel over the other one. Awesome. Crowned with Glory Reborn. I checked out your channel too, guys. Check out Crowned with Glory Reborn. Way bigger than my channel. I think she's got like 26,000 subs or something crazy. So you want to definitely check out her content as well. I didn't do a crazy deep dive, but I definitely looked through it. It looks at some of your recent videos. And I think you do. Am I correct that you do some tarot card readings? Correct me if I'm wrong. Crowned with with Glory Reborn. Cam the King says great insights on your Tibetan Book of the. Okay, thank you, man. That's like, I really appreciate that, because that is a tough read, and I tried my best. I mean, I'm not a religious scholar. I'm not. I don't read these types of books. You know, I have a background in law, so I did some dense reading in law school and while I was a practicing attorney. But this is a whole nother, thing. So I'm doing my best, but I figure, you know, we can all try and make our way through it and figure it out. Great coverage of that book. I also talked to ChatGPT about this. Oh, interesting. Yeah, with mixed results. Okay, I'm sure it's gonna have mixed results. You know, but I figured it was better than nothing. You know, better than just me trying to run it on my own. At least it gave me. And a lot of times I was using it more as a check of, I think this is what it means. And then when it would come back with basically the same idea, it just made me feel better. There's a great 4-part series of videos on the truth of reality on the Essential Video Extracts channel called The False AI Machine God, Consciousness and the Astral Realm Parasites Exposed. Oof. Can you send me that video to pinktourmaline1980@gmail.com? I'd like to check that out. Crowned with Glory says, thanks, you're welcome. The first 3 videos are the first videos on the channel. The 4th part is further down in the channel uploads. June says to Viv B, hi, sweetheart. I'm just outside Glasgow. I have family, grandkids in Missouri. Special love to you. Oh, very nice. Love this. People are getting to know. Did you guys know the June and Viv before this channel? Or are you guys connecting because of this channel? Just curious. Yes, I do astrology and tarot, but I'm rethinking a lot of this subject and have backburned my channel. What does that mean, backburn my channel? Backburned my channel. You've been working so hard. It is very much appreciated. It is great to be on this journey of discovering truth with others. Yeah, I have been working hard. But let me tell you guys something. I used to be an attorney. Then I started this tutoring business because I love teaching math so much. And I love helping people with it. And I think we all like helping people, honestly. We do. And some of us may just not realize it, but we all like it. And But my point is, starting this tutoring business and doing what I've been doing for the last 13 years, I've been working harder than I worked when I was an attorney, but it doesn't feel like that because it's my own thing. I get to drive it in the direction that I want to take it in. And so it's been very liberating in that way. And so, yeah, like when you're burning with ideas and you just want to put them down or make videos or reach out to people or try different strategies, it's just so much fun that it's definitely, it propels you forward. So it doesn't feel like a struggle. And the same is happening with this channel, exact same thing. And this channel has kind of taken over my life in some ways, even though it's still not the major timeshare of my day yet. I think that will change though soon. But it's taken over my life in different ways because I'm just obsessing over these topics. I'm watching more videos tangentially related to the topics covered herein, but it's all propelled by curiosity, by interest, by intrinsic enjoyment. So yes, I've been working very hard, but I've been doing it because I love it. So it's not as bad as it looks. AI understands this. I know. I've thought about this. I've thought about this for sure. And so I'm going to be cautious with it, but I'm kind of taking it one step at a time. I'm not going to default blindly to it. But when I was looking at it, it was I was like, okay, this is actually feeling accurate. It's actually exactly what I was thinking, but lays it out very nicely and plainly. So far it's been good. Oh, your YouTube channel is on hold. Oh, it's on the back burner. Oh, I get. Oh, you said back burned. It's on the back and have back burner burned. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yep, it's on hold. Got you. Got you. Just introduce ourselves to each other. Ah, June Owens. Hey, very nice. I love it. I love it. See, the community somehow decided to make this channel, and we're building this whole community based on this channel. People are meeting each other. Like, that's so cool. My screen is frozen. Is it still frozen? Guys, let me know. Am I still frozen? Oh boy. Yeah, the quality does not look good. It looks so grainy. I just saw it on my phone. Hold on. Let me try again. I want to keep watching. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's just, I almost left this hotel because the Wi-Fi is not very good. But then they moved me to a room. Like, I mean, it was 10 times worse than this in my first room. And I had to leave. I had no choice because I have a bunch of sessions. So I'm like, this is not going to work. But this one, at least it's working. So far it's okay. Crowned with Glory Reborn. I am regrouping. Starting to think Tarot is commentary in the work of the. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I feel like Tony Sayers would say something like this. Or I've even heard Tony Sayers say, don't connect with your spirit guides for the same type of reason. So I could see that. I had my tarot cards read actually 2 years in a row. Yeah, I may not do it again anymore, but I had it done on New Year's Eve 2 years in a row. Okay, Children of Light. Mahela says, I would not trust AI. Seems to me that AI is placed by archons. Yeah, David Icke says the same thing. I mean, I will, like I said, I'm not going to blindly trust it, but I think in the case of the interpretation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I thought it did okay. You guys let me know if you watched the video. All right, I'm going to take that off the shared screen. KK Loco. That's exactly what happens when you find the narrow path to truth that overtakes you. Oh my God. Oh, another crazy thing that happened in Tony Sayers live today. And I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Because I think there's some of you guys, I'm sure, in here that have kids and have families, and it's a beautiful thing, right? My sister has kids. I don't, and I have never felt a pull to be a parent. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. It's just, I don't know. Like, I can't really put my finger on it. There's probably a multitude of reasons why it's there. But Tony was talking about that. And he was saying one of the reasons why he's never felt desire to be a parent is because he's still trying to figure out what the heck is going on here? You know, even before he got on this explicit path, it was always there underneath the surface, and just so much uncertainty about the nature of reality and what's going on in this world is what led him away from wanting to go down that path. And I'm just curious. I'm like, oh my God, I see I'm frozen again. God. But anyways, I was like, dude, that's exactly how it has been for me. It's been really tough for me too, because I've had a lot of pressure, Indian family. You know, my mom like would not leave me alone for such a long time. Still kind of bothers me about it, which is just really unfortunate. But yeah, I'm just wondering if anybody else has is like that as well. Just curious. Okay, Eddie says I'm back now. Okay, good. It can be used effectively to do some stuff. Talking about AI, yeah, I agree. I watched some random videos on Anunnaki Sumerian clay tablets, and they talk about making humans, but body and soul. Wait, both body and soul? A piece of the Anunnaki DNA was also talked about recycling the souls. What? Viv, can you send this to me? Okay, you're talking about the clay tablets, which I know is the Enuma Elish or something like that. I know what you're talking about with those clay tablets or emerald tablets. Hotel Wi-Fi is so bad. My God, I see myself frozen again. I lose my mind. But can you guys still hear me even though I'm frozen? That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that you can still hear me at least. Awesome. I sent you an email of the first part of the series. Okay, very cool. Check it out. Mihaela says you are not frozen on my end. Okay, well, that's good. I'm somehow frozen when I'm looking at it on my phone. Psychics, tarot channelers are all the work of the archons. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if that is the case myself. DB1777. Anyone here familiar with Jürgen Zew's work? I am not. Do you feel that before we come here, something outside ourselves sets us up with life scripts? Okay, great question. I talked about this in one of my videos. I think we are, okay. If you read Journey of Souls, they talk about the staging area where you choose your life and you choose your parents, and then they apparently show you the people you're going to interact with during your life, and they tell you the big major events that are going to happen. Although ultimately you supposedly have free will, but they're like, but these certain things are going to happen, and so you kind of get a whole life plan. So I think it is scripted, but here is the thing that I was thinking about lately, and I asked other people, I think in the chat and in different places, and people agreed with me that this feeling I had may be correct. What I think actually now, after learning everything I've learned about the soul trick or the soul trap, what I think might be happening in that staging area, because free will ultimately cannot be commandeered. At least that's what I think right now. Still open to learning more about that. But if we follow that law of free will, your free will cannot be commandeered, meaning no life can be predicted. You know, even the future cannot be predicted. A lot of these folks that do predict the future will say that it's again based on probabilities, but nothing can be predicted for sure, which means that when you are said this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, what I'm starting to think now is that that's what they want to happen. They want this certain life plan to play out a certain way so that the earth goes round and round in this particular fashion to optimize the Lush farm. So I think these staging areas or these scripts, if you will, are meant to seed these ideas of what steps or choices we should make in this life so that it follows a sort of script, if you will. But ultimately, I don't think anything can be scripted. I think we have agency outside of this life, but even within this life, way more so than we think. That's my new theory. I can't point to anything where this is just an intuitive idea, by the way. Viv says, I feel like everything ancient release astrology tarot is corrupted due to fact that is in the matrix. Fair point. I'm sure that there are some nuggets of truth, but hard to know. Yes. Here you just find. Okay, amazing, Eddie. Thank you for letting me know. Who'd say if I will email you the videos? Thanks, Viv. Mihaela says, people who are here on a mission don't want children. Yeah, right? Like, I can't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Maxwell was saying the same thing about himself. No, he did? Really? Oh, that's crazy. Wow. Because that's what I've thought. Mihaela, where did you hear this? Crowned with glory reborn. We are all psychic and we are all the work of the archons, more or less. We're to transcend this. And by the way, I don't think that means that people who have kids aren't here to, I'm not trying to say there's a stark line. If you're on a mission, you don't have kids. If you have kids, you're not on a mission. It can't be that either, because we see obviously so many people, David Icke, many people that have children and that are clearly on a super strong mission. But it's probably more about, because I could see too, a lot of people maybe at some point having that push away from it, but then being like, yeah, you know what, I actually do want to go down this journey and I want to try it. I met somebody special, things like that. So you could it could also be that maybe they were feeling like they had to follow a mission, but ultimately decided, I want to have this experience in life, and then still decided to do it. You know what I mean? Or it could be also people that said, well, from the get-go, they wanted to have kids, but they also still had a mission. I'm sure it's can't be, kids and mission are mutually exclusive. The problem, as I see it, is that we don't know just how advanced the soul trap is. So how can we know who I know? Oh yeah, I know. We don't know. And we're just trying to do our best, I think, to figure stuff out. Jordan was way ahead of his time. I remember him talking about this. By the way, when you said Jordan Maxwell, for some reason, when I first said it, I thought you were saying Jordan Peterson. I don't think I know who Jordan Maxwell is. Can somebody, I look him up on YouTube? Jordan Maxwell. Let's see. Oh, he passed away. Esoteric Christianity. What? Matrix of Power, Secrets of World Control? Who is this guy? Whoa. Should I be reading his books? Wait. James Clerk Maxwell is a profoundly... No, not James Clerk. Holy smokes. Hold on, let me see this guy. Guys, should I be ordering some books from Jordan Maxwell? This guy seems very interesting. Hold on, let me put him down. Well, obviously I can't interview him, but I'm going to put him down on my list of people to explore and learn about. Okay. I've got a video I'm going to do, I think tonight, if I have time, contrasting something that Darius Wright says and something Isabella Green says that are diametrically opposed. And I think it's interesting to check out. Oh, we got a donation. Dude, Escape the Loosh, man. I really owe you. You're such a legend. Always donating, my friend. Thank you so much. Isn't it funny how people believe in Wi-Fi and invisible waves powering everything, but think energy, vibration, and frequency are woo-woo mystical nonsense? Yeah, but the reason why, why do we feel that stuff is woo-woo? Because it's conditioned in us. It's because the media and the powers that be, they chuckle and they laugh at it. And then there's this whole perception that these people in these upper echelons of society are the authorities. And so it's sort of, well, if they're laughing at it, I don't want to be laughed at because they know everything. You know what I mean? It's all this giant conditioning thing. And then some of these other theories that we're talking about, that we are comfortable talking about in this nice, safe space. But then there's other things that could easily be called just as woo-woo, if not more so, aka a lot of mainstream religions that people wholeheartedly buy into. But then those have been deemed culturally acceptable. It's like, why are those things? Why is it that ET encounters and stuff have been ridiculed so much, but you can believe in a particular religious faith that has all these bananas things in it, things like hell that lasts forever and ever. That's bonkers. And then that we have, you know what I mean? Like all the different pieces of these particular paradigms that were said, but this is some religious freedom. You can't criticize it, and it's just got to be it's acceptable, and that's what they believe. Well, what if I believe that there are extraterrestrial events, and it's not belief, it's because I've heard of all these testimonies? Oh, you're crazy, man. You're like you're a joke. I'm going to bring you on this news channel and ridicule you. I mean, it's just laughable how we have these like double, triple, quadruple standards, but I think all of us in here know why. We know why. We know. Okay, I think psychics are being deceived I could see that. No, for sure. I think a lot of, even if we look at like channelers or different things, like I don't think they're making things up when they're channeling or when they're communicating with spirit guides or things like 100%. Even Darius J. Wright, who I know Tony Sayers says some things about, and even who I myself get a funny vibe from him. I don't think he's out here trying to actively deceive people. At least, I don't believe so, anyways. And this is assuming he is wrong. Like, maybe I don't have all the answers myself, right? This is just the vibe that I get from him. But let's say if indeed my intuition is correct, that maybe there are some things that aren't all correct in what he's saying. I don't think it's him out there trying to defraud people. I think it's he's just unaware and has unknowingly been deceived. Great observation. Thanks, Eddie. What was the observation? Sorry, I'm like a little behind on comments. Yes, we are the creators. They are trying to get us to create because they cannot create. Who said that? It was Sam Weirs. What's his name? No. I'm blanking on his name now. That guy that somebody told me to research, and he was the guy that died in his 30s. I'm blanking on his name. Sam. It's not Sam. It is. Oh no. Dang it, I can't remember the guy's name, but this guy who he got poisoned, he was like throwing up all this black liquid, but he basically said the people that are running the system are vampires, but they themselves can't create, something like that. They have creative energy. We are here to behold what we are not. Having my child was the most. Oh, Black Herd is here. What's up, Black Herd? Having my child was the most transformational, humbling, and best experience of my life. I wasn't sure about it, but it is one of the few things that really makes you sincerely humble. Totally. By the way, yeah, don't get it twisted, guys. I'm not trying to be negative about the process of being a parent by any means. I do. My sister has kids. You know, lots of people. Actually, I'm like the odd one out in my entire family that doesn't have kids. But anyways, I was just wondering if it, because okay, Blacker, what I'm trying to say is I think the vast majority of people have kids. So of course it's rewarding. And I think when you have kids, you're not like sitting there struggling a lot of times, or feeling like you're going upstream and saying, well, why did I have this choice? It's like you don't have to have that conversation usually, because everybody around you it's like, yes, you have kids, it's amazing, and other people are having kids, and there's so many people. But for us who go the other direction, who go off the beaten path, it's a bit more isolating, and you have to really think, if I'm not going to do this thing that most people are doing, why am I not doing it? Like, you really have to, like, especially with my situation, with the amount of pressure that I got from all of my family members. Oh my God. Like, I had to really think it through. Like, it couldn't just be like, I don't think I want to do it. I mean, maybe no, I had to be very certain, because I was just getting hammered by everybody. And yeah, anyways, it was just kind of an interesting thing that I think I heard Tony Sayers why he didn't, and then it resonated with me. It's just curious if other people had that similar experience. Jordan Maxwell is fantastic. Okay, check out his stuff, Paul says. Okay, and is there a book that you recommend? I sent you a look about. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to check that link out later. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, KK. Without Jordan, there would be no. Is that for real? No way. So he's kind of like the source. Okay, buy his books. Okay, I have a million books I got to read. I'm trying to read these 3 Tony Sayers books right now, but ooh, you're with Team Isabella. Are you talking about Isabella Green? Because I love Isabella Green. I hope you're talking about Isabella Green. Gloober Doom. Jordan Maxwell breaks down words and meanings. Definitely a gift in itself, no matter what your belief. KK Loco. Yes, that's what the media pushes out, these narratives and agendas to collect content. Why is this not this? The soul human. Sorry, something's going on. I think I'm frozen, guys. Oh no. My stream is frozen. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Wow. It keeps blanking out. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Matt Pierce, that's what I was trying to remember. Yes. Spider-Man. Matt Spears might be him. 100%. That's it. You, yes. Okay, can you guys hear me? I think I'm back now. I think I'm back. What do you know, or what are your thoughts on inner Earth humans? You know who the Sasquatch are? Yeah, I know who the Sasquatch are, but I couldn't tell you about the inner Earth stuff. I just don't know enough. But I'm open to it for sure. I'm open to it for sure. I've heard people do remote views on the inside, and there's all sorts of underground bases or different things like that that they see. So yeah, I mean, I think there's so much on this planet. I think there's tons of stuff underwater. We see the ET crafts going in and out of the water. There's tons of military accounts of that. So I think there's all sorts of stuff underground or underwater that's happening. Would not surprise me in the least. Okay, my stream is working now. Tom says thank you. Yeah, it was glitching for a bit. Dude, this hotel has the worst Wi-Fi I've ever seen in my life. It's so annoying. I probably should have honestly left this hotel because I have so much stuff I have to do online today. It's a powerful trip for them. They are not really powerful. They just want us to think that they are. I think the trap is the adventure. Eventually you break the trap, but it takes enlightenment to achieve, which may take many lifetimes. It's a beautiful way of thinking about it. And I mean, I can get behind that because we are immortal. And so while we're in this trap, I mean, we're bouncing around, but eventually it's not like we can be diminished. I think, anyways, I've heard that Brett Stewart does have an idea that every time our energy is absorbed, we're kind of like losing a piece of ourselves. But then Courtney Brown, on the other hand, says, yeah, but whatever we lose, we regain. Nothing is lost. So if you take that standpoint, then, you don't have to look at it as such gloom, doom, I guess you could say. Funny that that's your actual name. Paul Wallace, the Cosmic Kapos. Max Spears was yeah, it was Max Spears. That was the guy who I was thinking of. You guys nailed it. Legend. Yes, I did a whole video on Max Spears. Such an interesting guy. It's blackout. Oh God, yeah, but I'm back now, right? The aliens got him. Yeah, basically, they killed my stream. You're back. I am back. Almost whipped out my ham radio. I'm on a serious mission to get out of body. It is the only way to know for sure. Me too. I'm with you. Hey, Paul, you weren't on my last live stream, but I don't know. I told everybody else I'm going to the Monroe Institute this summer, and I'm going to do the Gateway Experience, which is all about out-of-body experiences. I can't wait. And I'm going to be telling you guys all about it when I get back. I'm going to do a huge video. Oh, the Black Heart says your child is enjoying these videos. Let's go. She's 6. Amazing. The Paul Wallace writer. There are more stars in the known universe than great. Yes, I know. Actually, so the quote was from Neil deGrasse Tyson, if I remember correctly. He's like, if you take, there are more stars in the known universe that, every single grain of sand on every beach on this planet, which is bananas. And the amount, it was some massive number. Yeah, it's crazy. I concur, Paul. We must practice in those realms. Consciousness is different there, especially when we go through the trauma of death here. Escape the Loosh Farm. Thank you once again for the donation, my friend. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Anne-Marie talks about the Outman being able to guide us out of the matrix if we return to our body at death. Oh yeah, weren't you telling me this in one of the comments? Escape the Loosh Farm. I feel like you mentioned this, but does not clarify. Can anyone explain what the Outman is and how to connect with theirs? Guys, let us know in the comments. I don't know, of course, but Courtney Brown says we get zapped by a huge. Yeah, so does David Icke. David Icke says it's some like magnetic field or something. Even Brett Stewart said it was some like electrical grid when he was remote viewing it. Essence never dies, only the physical avatar. Yes. Paul Esther, great. Paul says, and the deserts. Viv B says, Atman. What is that? What is Atman? And by the way, guys, if you guys have questions for Tony Sayers, remember that interview is happening 5 days. Questions, put them in the chat, and I'll add them to the list. Let me make sure I got the Tony Sayers document up here. Gonna open it up right here. Yeah, I've been basically, as I've been reading his book, I've been taking little like screenshots of excerpts that I want to discuss with him as well. So Yeah, and probably the day before, I'm going to spend like multiple hours just thinking of everything. And obviously, it's not going to just be me. Look, I've interviewed a lot of people, so I'm not just going to be sitting there. Let me ask you this, then this, then this. It's going to be a free flowing conversation. It's going to be dope. I think it's going to be really, really fun. But I will be also having like a big list of stuff so I don't forget anything. Hey, Mahela, with the donation, and you didn't even ask me anything or say anything. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate, guys. I really, really appreciate the donations because well, obviously, one, it's just such a kind gesture, but two, like depending on how this channel continues to grow in terms of the monetization, what that will mean for me is that will mean that I can devote more and more and more and more time to this. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to make this kind of my everything. I mean, this is where my heart is right now. So yeah, it's a big deal when you guys donate and show that like you believe in what I'm doing to that extent. I think I might be frozen again. I am so sorry if I'm frozen. Just let me know if you can hear me, guys. But yeah, it's a really big deal to see that that stuff coming in. Okay. Here we go. Thank you again, Mahela. I really appreciate it. Escape the Lushram says, "Oh, my comments don't work. Your comments on my channel in general. I'm gonna try to switch to my phone. Hold on 1 second. I've never seen a tutor that interacts with viewers like you. A tuber. Oh, I thought you said tutor because I'm also a tutor. Hey, I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I agree, Paul. I've been catching some of Tony's videos from a year or two ago. I wonder how many of his ideas. You know what he mentioned actually when I was telling him I was reading his book. He's like, yeah, some of his thoughts have changed since he wrote the book that I'm currently reading. So that was kind of interesting. As upside down ice cream, Gloomer Doom says. I believe the Atman is part of the outside matrix. She said at time of death is used into intention to go to soul to body when it can show you this merciful Mercury looking wall the Atman pulled there. Okay, I cannot send my comments. You can't send them here or on my videos. Gloomer Doom said video can be 10 seconds behind the voice. Yes, that's true. Have you listened to the transcript from Matilda O'Donnell McElroy on the Roswell crash? I haven't listened to the transcript, but I read Alien Interview. So Alien Interview is apparent. Is that what you're talking about? And if you're talking about Alien Interview, my thoughts are, I thought it was a very interesting read, but then on the Y files, he kind of made me think that it's not what I thought it is, if that makes sense. And kind of debunked it a little bit. So it made me a little wary of it. On top of that, I didn't like that idea of Earth being a place for creative souls and stuff like that. Like they cause trouble on some of these other realms. Like that didn't make sense to me. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts right off the bat. Okay. What do you know about the moon and the bases inside, natural or artificial satellites? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you my take, but again, I'm a novice when it comes to the moon and stuff. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. Let me switch to I'm going to switch to my phone because I see things are just like frozen, I think. Let's see if my personal hotspot will be better. Here, we're going to switch. Let's see if. Okay, I think we're still on. Is it better, guys? Is it better? I feel like it's better because my phone signal is actually fairly strong right now. Let me know if I'm clear or what's going on. Okay, so what do I know about the bases inside? Well, I'm not a moon expert, okay? But I have a buddy of mine who's super, super deep in, oh, thank God, it's better. So I have a buddy of mine who's super, super into researching the moon. I think that, look, it's so weird that there's a dark side of the moon. Let me just be honest. It's like insane to me that there's a dark side of the moon, and it's just so bizarre that it exists like that, and that it's in what's called a tidal lock with the Earth. And I know that moons exist in tidal locks with other planets, and that's a thing. But especially with all the weirdness surrounding the moon, the weirdness of the moon landing, all these different things. Yeah, I would not be surprised whatsoever if it's if there are things inside and there are ETs on the other side. I mean, I don't see why that's so outside the realm of possibility. I know other people have remote viewed the moon and said the same. And as far as it being an artificial satellite, I've heard many reasons as to why. So I'm open-minded that it very well could be an artificial satellite, but I have not done deep, significant research on that whatsoever. Like Jason Giorgiani 100% thinks it's an artificial satellite, and I know that guy is very intelligent, but I have not researched in depth what he said as to why it is. So that's about the best I can offer on that topic. Okay. Gloomer Doom says moon bears are going through the moon base trash. Moon bears, they're becoming a problem. Wait, is this a joke? I'm not sure what that is, what you mean by that. Gloomer Doom, better. Okay, yes. Farsight Institute did a remote viewing project about Errol and Matilda, and the results, according to it, are that they existed. Whoa, really? Well, I'm not surprised because Courtney Brown sort of said the same exact thing about he calls them Isbies, just like they call them that the souls Isbies in the book. And he also has the same narrative that there are souls here that are like too creative or didn't fit into society, and that's why they were put here on this prison planet. But there's nothing in that book also about Loosh and about it. You know what I mean? So this is why this whole thing is so difficult to decode, because even with the wild conspiracies, there are some, what we're actually looking into and not writing off, but there are things that overlap and then there are things that differ, and they differ at a substantial level. So how do we reconcile that? I just don't know. The moon is the only heavenly body that does not spin. Yeah, that's wild. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Because if you look up the sounds from Saturn, it's so creepy. They've picked up radiation waves or something, but they have recorded it. Okay, I'll check that out. Sounds from Saturn. I didn't know that. Jordan Maxwell said that in one of his interviews, dedicated his life on studying and researching in order to enlighten humanity, not to raise. Wait. Jordan Maxwell said that in one of his interviews, Jordan Maxwell dedicated his life on studying and researching in order to enlighten humanity, not to raise children. Like, this is exactly how I feel right now. Especially, I can't say that all my life I was like, okay, I want to. When I was younger, it was definitely more that I just loved my life as is, and I really enjoyed myself. And I noticed sometimes a lot of people had a desire to have kids. Man, I think it'd be amazing. I just never had it. And I'm like, I enjoy my life as is. So I don't feel that desire to have a drastic shift, because I'm sure Black Herd can probably acknowledge that, like, it's a massive paradigm shift when you do become a parent. So at that point, it was that, more or less. But then as I've gotten older and really thought about it, that's how I feel now, is that I'm in this social club in LA that is specifically for people that don't have kids. And it's not everybody is like me where they don't want to have kids. Some people maybe want to have kids down the line, but most people are what we call child free. And we were having this discussion about not fitting into society. And that's part of the reason why the social club exists and why we all feel so great there. But a lot of people were saying, well, maybe it's it can be a bit of a struggle to find purpose and find meaning in your life when you don't have kids, compared to most people. When you have kids, it's like, this is my focus, this is my everything, and I'm going to make my child set them up to be happy and healthy. And I said, well, that is a great focal point, and that's wonderful. It's amazing for people that have kids, but for us who don't, it's not that we're lacking meaning by any means. Actually, we must take it as an opportunity to really dig for the root meaning in life. And we have that privilege that we can do that, because we don't have young ones that are relying on us, that need everything from us. And so it becomes this great opportunity. And of course we could squander that opportunity. I'm sure a lot of people that don't have kids squander the opportunity, but this is an opportunity for those of us who don't have those obligations to dive in fully and be of service to each other, be of service to humankind, and try to get to the bottom of this information so that we can all rise up. So yeah, it's kind of like, that's how I feel right now. I want to be here and I want to help enlighten humanity. Glimmer Domello, don't get me started on the moon trash raccoons. Wait, what is that? Jordan is one of the greatest minds I've learned from. Wow. Okay. How have I not heard about this guy? I need to really, let me make sure I added him to my list. I don't want to. Did I add him? I think I did. Hold on. Where's my document? Pink Tourmaline. 1 second. Jordan. I did add him. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't forget that. Everybody's saying too creative. Then why would they be out here? I know, right? That's what I'm saying, Eddie. Like it felt weird. He said that the societies were so structured and organized that they didn't want people who were outliers. And so they would get like annoyed with the people who were too creative. And they said, that's why we have so many artists on earth and stuff like that. And I'm like, that just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Both my kids are enlightened and neither want kids. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. I figured it out. There's a limited space for commenting. If you exceed the limit, it's, oh, got it. The moon is hollow. We have dropped bombs on it 3 times and it rang like a bell. Yes, I've heard this many times. David Icke talks about this. I never had an urge to have kids, but I didn't really know why. But now I'm thinking I do know. Are you saying now you do know, like recently, or now just because of the conversation we're having literally today? Glimmerdoom, yeah, I heard that too. Wanted to have kids myself. Life didn't quite go like I thought. Still technically could, but I look around and I'm not so sure. Put it down as a maybe now, but hard to say. Okay, cool. Again, I was just curious if people had that similar feeling as me. And yeah, that's all. Just curious. Antinatalism is a movement for a reason. Depopulation programs are everywhere for a reason. I think the giants, escaped the flood, live inside the moon. Interesting. I don't know too much about that. And under Earth. I, like you just uttered, let's destroy the death traps here. Y-Files didn't debunk anything. AJ Gentile's compromised. Okay, I've heard other people say this. I used to love him for years until he went on Sean Ryan and said he doesn't believe in in the great majority of what? Really? That is awful. Why would he do that then? KK Loco, can you send me this? That is horrendous if that's true. Why would he make this channel? What is he just faking it? Yo, can you email me that? And look, it's not like he's my favorite YouTube channel or something like that. You know, I've watched a couple of his things. I watched that one because he released his alien interview video like 3 days after I made mine. So that's why I watched it. But that is awful if that's the case. Why would he do that? It's so weird. Well said. I think it's a great way to look at it. I've thought similar. No kids, so we'll find a way to redirect that energy to help in some way if possible. Yeah. Check out Bill Muir transcripts. Jesse Tyler, do you know the difference between 3D humans and no? I mean, I've heard some videos of people talking about it. I believe it has something to do with just reaching some level of enlightenment or awareness, awakeness. But that's about all I can say. Mihaela says, I don't have kids either. I'm learning and growing so much. I don't think that would have happened if I had kids. And by the way, like I said, look, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's tons of people, David Icke included, many people that have kids and are just doing so much for the world. And so it's not as though the two are mutually exclusive. But yeah, everybody's just got to make their own decision. And yeah, this one is good for me. And it sounds like some people out there are feeling similarly. KK Loco, I disagree. Just because he doesn't believe the stories he covers is irrelevant. So you're saying that you do give credibility to the Y-Files guy. It is kind of weird, though, that if he's covered, why would you make stories and videos and not believe it yourself? Like, that's so weird. Don't you guys think? That kind of shoots your credibility. Giant mile-high towers and castles have been seen on the moon. Oh, really? That high? What, on the dark side? Yeah, I saw AJ on Ryan's podcast. Sorry, I know you mentioned it. What is your email again? Here, I'll put it in the chat. 1 second. Okay. Y-Files makes the Illuminati symbol at the end of his videos. Why follows Bo? Does he? Oh, really? I didn't know that. He can still cover interesting stories without believing in them. REAJ Gentile. I mean, you're right. He can. You're right. But it just like that just feels weird. Like, why would you make these in-depth videos and research topics? Like, it just rubs me the wrong way. It feels disingenuous, and then it just makes me wonder, to what extent can you really present like that information fairly and accurately if you're kind of like doing it just for the show, but you don't actually believe it? You know what I mean? I don't know. So that's really weird to me. I hate automatic keyboard. It meant that I liked your no child speech is let's destroy the death traps. Wait. I meant that I liked your no child speech. Oh, wait, what? That was an automatic keyboard change? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I just thought of something. If people stop having children, there will be no chance for souls to incarnate. Yeah, actually. Or would they just like reset the trap, reset the whole system maybe? I don't know. You know what else I've thought about too? This is another thing that I've thought about. Tell me what you guys think about this. If the system relies on us reproducing, right? And that is an inherent part of creating new vessels so that new souls can be brought in, right? If what Mihalis, let's go with this theme that Mihalis is talking about. It kind of makes sense that we have the most nerve endings and the most like pleasure generation in our sexual organs, because it's like sex is the thing that's most incentivized. It's the thing that we think about the most. It's just food for thought. Like, if it was truly built in as a, for a nefarious purpose and wanting us to keep creating and keep reproducing so that there are more vehicles for the system, it would make sense that the entire sexual reproduction system would be designed in such a way where it's like you're super incentivized to have sex regardless of whether or not you want the aftermath of the act of reproducing, right? I was thinking about that the other day. I feel like everyone at a certain level seems to be compromised, or at least they get connected to a degree that they can only discuss certain things or have limitations upon them, it seems. Yeah, I think so too, because I think at some point you get, whether it's overt or covert, people come in, forces come in, whether trying to pay money or trying to offer you sponsorships, then the sponsorship say, hey, like, can you not cover this? Because otherwise we'll have to pull this like 20,000 a month or whatever they're giving people, right? And then you can start putting some control mechanisms on people. And then maybe if that doesn't work and they need to push heavier, then, other tactics can be used. But yeah. Narrative gatekeepers are everywhere. What is one of your favorite topics about the truth of existence? Wait, what is one of your favorite topics about the truth? Favorite topics about the truth of existence. Well, I think right now, the main thing that I'm trying to I guess it would have to do with this whole soul trap paradigm or soul trick paradigm, and why, getting more to the bottom of why anybody would put the system in place and what their large scope agenda is. Another question that I have too is, if we do escape, like, what is, and I want to ask Tony Sayers about this, and maybe there's no answer right now, but where are we trying to go? Are we trying to get back to the pleroma, or is it just escape and then have dominion and sovereignty, and then we choose our own adventures for the rest of existence? Is that simply the objective? Like, what is it? So maybe these two topics right now. In astrology, the dark side of the moon's location at the time of your birth signifies your Lilith placement, which reveals your shadow inner demons. Interesting. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to move to the bed because my back is hurting. That's the problem with these chairs at these hotels. So I'm gonna move. Let's see here. Hopefully nothing gets messed up. I'm gonna leave my phone where it is because it's getting such a good signal. So hopefully nothing gets jacked here. But let me know if something gets if the signal slows down. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I can only take about an hour sitting in those horrible chairs. Covering strange conspiracy stories proved successful for him, so he probably continued with it. Yeah, like Viv, I get that, but don't you feel that at some point I get that, but well, I guess you're right. You're right. That can happen to all of us. You know what I mean? You get into something and it ends up being like highly profitable, and then your vantage point changes at some point, and then you're just not ready to let it go just yet because you're sucked into that lifestyle or whatever it may be. But I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. It's such a important topic, and it's something that people are looking to him to understand, these big topics, and then you're doing it and you don't even believe it. Like, I don't know. It just rubs me wrong a little bit. Okay. Decreasing birth rate, abortion, sacrifice, the soul count is shrinking. Not enough bodies around for these souls to replant, creating a line. Wait, Gloom or Doom, where have you heard this? If there are too many awakened to what's going on, it will be almost impossible for them to keep the lie of this reality going, along with not being able to make a new matrix system. Let's hope. Isabella Green thinks they're in the process of making a new matrix system right now. Knowledge handlers, aka the Freemasons. Yeah, I've heard about them too. Being not that. If the matrix needs more babies to be born, then the whole abortion agenda would have to change. True. Yes, this matrix heavily promotes sex. The archons are extracting loose from sexual energy and desire. That is why there's pornography. Yeah, fair enough. Ultimate escape is to return to the source, going back to our past, our positions of fully enlightened and bored again. Our positions of full enlightenment and boredom again. Oh, you think we're bored when we're fully enlightened? In this case, you know that the ones behind the soul trap and loose attractions are the archons and reptilians, right? Are you aware of the archons? Yeah. I mean, I'm aware of the concept of the archons for sure, and the reptilians. But yeah, I've learned about the Gnostic teachings, and the archons are basically the ones that manage the whole system. So yeah, I'm familiar with them. But I guess like I know the term archons, I know the reptilians, but I guess okay. So for example, we have heard from Brett Stewart in his remote views that the the archons are basically using this loosh and this energy to fuel their empire expanding. But I'd love to know more details about that. Or I've also heard somebody else say, was it David Icke? I can't remember who else, that the loosh is like extracted and traded as a commodity. I just want to know more about the grand scheme of things. Like, why? Why is all this happening? What is the ultimate agenda? Expand to where? How big are they trying to make this empire? Is it just trying to get bigger and bigger with no real clear vision or end in sight? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of all of this? Probably the darkest idea I saw today on X was a TikTok video indicating they wanted us breeding like crazy until they got AGI and then the infrastructure in place to replace humans. And that's their utopia. AI, AGI, and the infrastructure in place to replace humans. And then when they replace humans, then what? Will they implant souls into AI beings and things like that? Or what's 3A? Gloom or Doom, they want longer living docile slaves. Kicking out the observers from coming back. Got it. Okay. Interesting. Spider-Man, and of course that ties in with the cataclysm reset idea where they all go underground with the robots and slaves and then come back up when it's over to start back up again. Are you talking about the reptilians? Crowned with glory, they want debauchery and depopulation simultaneously. It feeds them and destroys us spiritually. Loosh eyed is the whole point. They want leaders, souls, followers, souls, but they don't want observer souls, observers having the power to see through the BS. Got it. So that's like, maybe you would say us in this community right here. It is utilized as a power source to change artificial realities. To change. You're talking about Loosh. It is used as a power source to change. Tell me more about that. What do you mean by that, artificial realities? Why don't you interview Brett Stewart? I'd love to. He's on my list. I would love to. I will try. They made a cheesy movie for top-down view Jupiter ascending. I never saw that movie. 3 a.m. here in Scotland, so I'm going to go to bed. All right, peace out. June Owens, appreciate you. Take care, family, and be safe. Catch you all. Okay, awesome. I'm going to do another live stream at some point midweek and before I do the next Friday one. But you can put this down every Friday, 6 p.m. We're doing it. Viv says, June, take care. Hold on, let me get some water. Okay. The mark of the beast is to identify the observers. Huh. Okay. KK Loco. I didn't think it was cheesy. It was very disturbing. Basically, wait, really? Jupiter Sending says that? Oh, maybe I should watch this. I haven't seen that movie. I remember when it came out, but to charge artificial charge artificial realities using the sorry, I couldn't read it. Using the loose celestial light being soul essence is being extracted to power their worlds. Got it. Okay. And since souls are effectively immortal, is it effectively a like infinite supply of energy? Well, the point is that the archons are low 4D entities that feed off low vibrational energy. Okay, that's their food source, you're saying. Okay. What about what Eddie was saying, that they use it to power their worlds? Or are you kind of saying the same thing? Jupiter Ascending is underrated. It basically describes... Oh, no way. Okay, I'm watching that. I might watch that tonight. Gloom or Doom. So what would they do with the observer souls? Yeah, do they just kick them out of the Matrix? Spider-Man, it was a little cheesy, yes, but not terrible. I'm going to watch it. I can't wait. Most movies feel cheesy to me. Almost all movies feel cheesy to me. Gloom or Doom, that is the line in heaven waiting for a body. Wait, what is the line in heaven waiting for a body? Hold on. Wait. Oh, wait, what? What are you talking about? Are you talking about Jupiter Ascending? Oh my gosh, guys. Excuse me. I hope I have the energy, I actually may not have the energy to make this video that I wanted to make tonight about Darius and Isabella. I may have to wait until tomorrow morning. But it's definitely coming, either tonight or tomorrow. All right, guys. I think the chat is slowing down. My voice is also kind of getting tired, and I have to do my commentating tomorrow. I think I might be closing out here. I want to say thank you to everybody for being on this live today. It was awesome. It was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed it and appreciated it. And, I hope we all learn from it, because I always learn. Look, again, Jordan Maxwell, never heard of him. Because of you guys, I learned about Jordan Maxwell. So I got somebody to check out now. But I really appreciate everybody coming and commenting and having such a lively discussion. Jupiter Ascending is pretty good, but I'm not really into movies. So there's that. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay. Crown with Glory Reborn. Everybody, thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for the donations, Mihaela, and also Escape the Loosh Farm. I appreciate all of you guys for everything, and everybody else who just showed up and was here as a source of positivity and was here commenting. It was awesome. Viv says, take care. Mihaela says, good night. Huzefa, go to bed. Yeah, I need to go to bed. Good night. Safe travels. Thank you guys so much for joining. And if you could click the like button too as we close out the stream, I'd really appreciate it just to run up the likes a little bit. That'd be awesome. But thank you, everybody, so much for joining. I appreciate you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.